Hello and welcome back to another web development video. My name is Jesus Guzman from GDev Tech, and today we will walk through the process of the Gulp setup and installing node modules for Gulp. This is the setup process that we will do for our splash page. So let's get started. Alright, back where we left off in our Pug setup video, we will go ahead and begin by creating a gulp file.js. Now this is required when creating and developing Gulp. So we're going to go ahead and create this gulp file.js, and within this gulp file.js, we're going to go ahead and move this up here, and we're going to go ahead and start installing all of our modules. And the way we're going to go ahead and install all of our modules is we're going to go ahead and begin by typing in Npm Install Gulp, and I'm going to do -- save -dev. Now we got to install Gulp first before any other modules because that is required. So when I do this -- save -dev, this is going to create a new directory called node modules, and as you can see, it inserted a module called Gulp. So once that is done, now I can go into my node modules and I can see that Gulp has successfully installed in my node modules. As well as I check in my package.json file, we see a dev dependency that shows that Gulp is installed as a dependency, and we can see the version number for our Gulp file. Very exciting there. Now the next step that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to jump back into our gulp.js file. I'm going to create a variable, and this variable we'll go ahead and call it Gulp. And then I'm going to do equals require and wrap it around here, and I'm going to put it a comma and then put single quotes, and I'll type in Gulp. And this comma is basically saying there's going to be more variables underneath it. So underneath here are going to be our additional node modules that we're going to be using for our splash page development. So we can just do a simple single line comment, and we'll call it node modules or other node modules. So now we have that. I'll go ahead and put this one, put a comment on the top, and you require the main module. So now for these other node modules, we're going to do the same thing as we did for Gulp. And the way to find node modules, so we're gonna we'll do stylus first. So we're gonna do stylus, and I'll just go ahead and type in stylus in my other node modules, and I'll do an equal sign, and we're gonna require that. Now before we require that, we got to figure out what is it that we're gonna require into it. What's our node module's name? And to do that, I'll just go into gulpjs.com and then click in plugins, and within their search I'll just type in stylus, and I can see here that Gulp CSS preprocessor, it's the right one that we're going to use. It's going to be able to go ahead and process our stylus and compile it into a .css file. So this is exactly what we're looking for, and this is another way to search for node modules that you guys would be using for your gulp.js file. The way we're going to install it is by using npm install and the name of that module. Don't forget to do --save -dev towards the end, or sometimes we can do npm install --save -dev and then the node module name. So now that we have that, we can verify by going back into our package.json, and we can see that our node module's name is there. So we'll just copy that node module's name, and we'll jump back over into our gulp file.js and paste that within there. So I'm going to go ahead and make the video a little bit shorter. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for pug, and I'll go ahead and put that in single quotes, and I'll get the node module's name there, and that will be gulp-pug. So we'll install that, and while that's installing, we'll just type that in. We're going to do the same thing for concatenate, and the concatenate is basically going to be concatenating all our JavaScript files to make them into one file. And we'll go through that in that next video. So I'm just going to do concatenate equals require gulp concatenate, which is the name of our module. And then the next one that we're going to do is minify. And by minifying our files, that's the main.min.js, if you guys remember on previous video. And that's just minifying all the files to make it smaller and not easy to read. So we're going to go ahead and type in our module name, which is gulp-uglify. As you can see in the bottom of my terminal, I typed in npm install --save, all of that there. So we're also going to go ahead and do the rename, because we have to go ahead and rename it. So when we concatenate and minify, we also have to rename it to the min.js. So we're going to use our rename module, and we're going to go ahead and put in require and our gulp name, which is gulp-rename. So a lot of these start off with gulp and dash, and then usually the name of the module. So that's there, and we will do browser sync, which was our last one. In browser sync, it's instead of you refreshing your page through every development, you are actually just typing it in, and you don't have to refresh your page anymore. Okay, so now we've gonna put in our browser sync node modules name there, and we've already installed all of our node modules, and we are good here. And in our next video, we will start beginning to create gulp tasks. So that's going to be very exciting, because gulp task is going to go ahead and help us minify and concatenate and compress and rename, and we're going to be able to use browser sync. We're going to be able to run all these tasks within our gulp file. And that will be our next video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, my name is Jesus Guzman from GDev Tech. Until next time.